he gonna do now?
I don't think he plans that far ahead.
Oh! I'd cover my ears if I were you.
Joining us now is his co-star, Indy's one and only. Please welcome Karen Allen. It was so wonderful to see you in the movie. Now, you were in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark. You weren't in the other two.
Right.
You didn't even know that this one was getting made. So how did you get the phone call? What happened?
I was just hanging out in my life, and the phone rang, and I picked up the phone, and it was Steven Spielberg on the phone, and he said, "I'll bet you know why I'm calling." And I said, "No, actually, I have no idea why you're calling." And he said, "We have a script that we love for the next Indiana Jones film, and we've written a wonderful role for you in the film."
Wow.
So I was just thrilled beyond my wildest dreams. I thought it was just fantastic.
And wasn't it a secret? You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that was the good news was he wanted me to do the film. The bad news was that he didn't want me to tell anyone. And of course, I had to tell a couple people, like my son and a couple people in my family and stuff. But I had to keep it a secret from January until probably the third week into filming, which became really, really challenging because I would run into friends and they would say, "What are you doing in LA?"
What did you tell them?
I just have to make up something on the spot. Oh, I'm just visiting a friend and I thought, oh my God. He actually originally told me that he wanted me to keep it a secret until now.
So
until
you
the film.
you got to be a good liar then, right?
Well, I just had to think on my feet as fast as I could.
One of the great things about this is that you look like a grown woman. And you look like a man. They haven't tried to make you all look like you're 20 or 15 or whatever. And so I'm just really glad to see that a real woman can actually still drive a car and actually see things in the distance and look fantastic.
You said you're in your mid-50s, and you said that you feel like this is the best time in your life, right?
I really do feel that way. I feel like, everything in my life has kind of come into this wonderful balance. My son has started college, and I have a lot of other interests that I've developed, and then into all of that mix comes this wonderful gift of this film and working with Harrison again and Steven.
Is this the best time for you too, Harrison, in your life, do you think?
No.
What was?
No. When I was much younger, it was much better.
I got it.
No, it's okay now. I'm not complaining. No, I'm having a good time. I often forget how bloody old I am.
You had a nice moment with Barbara when she interviewed you for her Oscar special back in February, right? We actually have a clip of that, and I loved it. I want you guys to see it. Take a look.
What's your idea of a perfect day?
Time with Callista, the kids, whichever of them are available, and a little bit of work, a little bit of play, good food, nice glass of wine, and a good sleep.
Sounds good. Simple things in life. Simple things, right?
I left the obvious one out, didn't I?
Do you and Callista, I was reading that you and Callista have a bet going on right now, that this movie is going to be the biggest blockbuster of all the Indiana movies, and isn't that true? Do you have a bet? Or was that just a rumor?
Oh, yeah, and if it's not, she thought it would be a big hit. And if it's not, she has to paint the garage.
Karen.
That's it? I like that bet.
I wanted to ask, because I just loved you so much. I remember in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, nobody can forget when Marion Ravenwood punched Indiana Jones in the jaw. We have a clip. I want you to see that.
Indiana Jones. Always knew someday you'd come walking back through my door. I never doubted that. Something made it inevitable. So what are you doing here in Nepal?
I need one of the pieces your father collected.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
I never meant to hurt you.
Okay, so now you're in the movie. What kind of relationship do you and Indiana have?
Much the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. We kind of picked right back up from where we left off.
Yeah, I like that part of the movie a lot, the relationship between them. Did you do your own stunts in this movie, Karen?
Well, you know, there's certainly a lot of things that you want to try and do if you can do.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of look at each little piece, and you know, the stunt coordinator's always there saying, you know, okay, this is what's going to happen, and you just dive in, and if you can do it, you do it, because it's always better. But you certainly don't want to take a chance of, you know, breaking a bone.
Speaking of risk, Harrison, you just did this music video for Jimmy Kimmel with Ben Affleck, and I can't even say the name of the video, but what it was this wild, sort of crazy video, and what was it for a birthday? Why did you do this?
Do you really want me to? It just seemed like it was fun. I mentioned to somebody, I saw the first part of it, I saw the Sarah Silverman thing with Matt Damon.
Yes.
And I thought it was funny as hell. And so I just mentioned it to somebody at the night before the Oscars party, and somebody I was talking to was Casey Affleck, and he mentioned it to somebody.
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, I got this call, and would I like to do this thing? And I said, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, because...
Well, that wasn't... No, you don't get out much. But what about... I just want to show this quick PSA that you also did, because you don't discriminate, which I really like. Do we have it?
When rainforests get slashed and burned, it releases tons of carbon into the air we breathe. It changes our climate. It hurts. Every bit of rainforest that gets ripped out over there really hurts us over here. No, I didn't do that just for fun.
No.
No, it's a way of bringing home the point that the most effective thing we can do right now is to keep standing tropical forests.
Yes,
And when they're lost over there or around the equator where they are in the most underdeveloped countries in the world, are the lungs of the planet. It's where our rain comes from. It's it's where carbon is sequestered, and it's the same places where slash and burn agriculture is practiced, and where tons and tons of greenhouse gases go into the atmosphere every year, and in fact, this is called deforestation. Right. But it accounts for 20 to 25% of the greenhouse gas emissions. That's more than all the cars and trucks and planes in the world.
Well, this is the perfect way to get attention.
It's something that we can address right now. Yeah. We just have to have the political will to do it, and we have to find a mechanism to support the people in these countries, and so that they can keep their forests. They can secure their future for their kids, and we're not robbing them of development opportunities, but we're helping them help all of us, and it's something we just gotta get done. While we're waiting. While we're waiting for technology to catch up, which is going to take another 20, 30 years.
We're get hit by some technology, huh?
Thank you so much for letting us, bringing attention to the rainforest.
Thank you.
And thank you, Harrison and Karen. We have been waiting for you and this for such a long time. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is in theaters right now, and everybody in our audience is getting an Indiana Jones hat and the special edition